Welcome back to Think Thrice Problem Solving. Today we're going to be doing a quick little almost proof. So this is pretty famous where we prove that 2 equals 1. Almost. Okay, so to start off here, I'm going to start with setting a number a equal to a number b equal to the number 1. Okay, so we're going to start here with, obviously, a is equal to b. I think you can all agree with me there. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply a on both sides. So we're going to get a squared is equal to a times b. And then we're going to go ahead and subtract b squared from both sides. That seems pretty safe as well. So we're going to subtract that b squared. So what we're going to be left with is a squared minus b squared is equal to ab minus b squared. We can factor these. So remember, if I have the difference of two squares, that's equal to a plus b times a minus b. And that's going to be equal to, if I factor out a b on the right, I'm going to get b times a minus b. And if I'm looking at these two, I have this a minus b on both sides that I can cancel out here. So now I'm going to be left with a plus b is equal to b. But there's a little bit of a problem here. So if we look at this, we said a and b were both 1. So what this is saying is that 1 plus 1 is equal to 1, or that 2 is equal to 1. So obviously, we just proved that 2 equals 1. Congratulations. Math doesn't make any sense, and we're all done. Okay, but obviously, that is not a true statement, which means that somewhere along this line, we did something illegal. So I'll give you a second, see if you can figure it out. If you want to look at those, pause the video, try to figure out what in here doesn't work. And then we're going to go ahead and jump in. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So the first thing we did was we said a equals to b. So this is 100% valid. So a equals b, there's nothing wrong there. Okay? And then if we look at this b squared, so let's look at this b squared term. I'm subtracting some real number. So b squared is just 1. So is it valid for me to subtract 1 from the left side and the right side? Of course, there's nothing wrong with subtracting a number from both sides. So let's look at this next step. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking a squared minus b squared equals ab minus b squared. I really didn't do anything new. I just rewrote it. Then I went ahead and factored, so I guess this is 2 steps. So am I allowed to factor this and say a plus b times a minus b is equal to b times a minus b? And the answer is, of course, like it's okay to factor that. So if I do that multiplication, everything comes through. I'm not doing anything wonky or illegal. The problem seems to then be that I only have one step left. I've only done one more thing. So there must be something in this last step that is illegal. So what is illegal in that step? So let's take a look at this. Essentially what we did is we have a plus b times a minus b is equal to b times a minus b. So if we look at what this is actually saying, remember a equals b equals 1. So what this is saying is that 2 times 0 is equal to 1 times 0. So what I did, which was kind of sneaky because we had in terms of a and b, was I divided both sides by that 0, by a minus b. And obviously, you guys know that we are not allowed to do that. So we've done an illegal operation. So that's why we were able to almost do this proof that 2 equals to 1. So this is a fun one to show your friends if they're into math and see if they can figure out where you're doing something wrong. And obviously, right here is where we're doing that illegal step where we crossed out that a minus b from both sides because we were dividing out that 0. I hope you enjoyed this little video. If you did, please like and subscribe. If you have your own video idea, please email it to thinkthriceproblemsolving@gmail.com. As you're working through problems on your own, think once, think twice, and if you really get stuck, think thrice.